What's going on, guys? It's your boy Scrub here, back again with another video. Hope you guys are having a great day. I know I am. And today, ladies and gentlemen, I've got a story time for y'all that I think you guys are really going to enjoy, that was sent in by a subscriber, about this dude who was like constantly flexing his roast skills and how good he was at flaming everybody, and then he ended up crying because he got roasted. But yeah, it should be a pretty entertaining story time. I figured you guys would enjoy it. And before we get into it, be sure to press the like button. Otherwise, no joke, no scam whatsoever, you will get a curse placed on you by a very angry witch. And without further ado, let's get into it.
Get quiet now, lay low when you reach zone, pipe down, make it out, stack the bread.
Alright, so I think everybody has like had a situation where, you know, there's a type of kid who's very cocky about a particular thing that he swears is like his thing, you know, and he might be a little bit of a jerk about it. It just tends to be that if somebody's got a big ego about something they're good at, they're like actually good at it. And there was this one kid at this dude's school who was known, or he thought he was known for like having the best roast ever. Nobody could roast this guy. He just had just the uncanny ability to flame everybody. He would like constantly challenge people to rap battles, like, you know, always trying to just insult people, and he thought he was incredible at it. And one day, the subscriber, who we're gonna name Jared for the purpose of this video, comes into class, and, you know, the obnoxious roaster is in there. It's one of the classes that he shares with him, and he's usually minding his own business, just kind of roasting the teacher, trying to make everybody laugh. And Jared was a pretty quiet kid, so he didn't talk a whole lot. And for whatever reason, when they had walked in that day, the teacher had decided to shuffle the seating chart, which is honestly like one of the worst things that happens in school, is when you've got the perfect table where, like, you know, you've got friends, or if you're a quiet person, everybody kind of gets work done. But whatever you prefer, if you kind of like where you're sitting, it's just not a good vibe. And he looks at the chart, and sure enough, Jared is going to be sitting at a table with the guy who like loves to pop jokes and roast everybody. And Jared kind of is like, that sucks, that's gonna be annoying, but whatever, it's just is what it is. It's a seating chart, I can't change it. So they go and they sit at the table, and you know, the teacher kind of stands up there. All right, guys, this is gonna be the seating chart for the next quarter. So we're gonna take today to introduce ourselves to our new tables and just get to know each other. You're like, as English teachers do, bro, just ugh. But whatever, they kind of start talking, and Jared's being quiet, and the kid who's famous for roasting people, I'm gonna give him a name, I'm gonna call him Kyle, that just sounds right. Kyle is kind of talking about a lot about himself and how cool he is, and you know, all the cool stuff he does, and how he's incredible at roasting people, and people just can't hang with him when it comes to insults, blah 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 blah. And finally, they kind of get around to Jared to explain a little bit about himself, and he mentions that he likes to play video games. And you know, I feel like that's a pretty regular hobby nowadays. Like, sure, it's a little nerdy, it's not a sport, but it's not uncommon. It's not like back in the day where, oh, you play video games? Dude, you probably stupid nerd, dude, you freaking idiot. Like, back in the 80s, I feel like they just bullied people who even looked at an arcade, but it's just pretty normal now. But for whatever reason, Kyle just kind of starts being like, dude, are you serious? You like play video games often in your free time? You're pathetic, dude. Like, you're just so pathetic. Which, listen, even if you are a great roaster, it's just super unnecessary to be doing it all the time. Like, you can take a 5-minute break and not insult somebody, you know? Especially when it's somebody that's not insulting you, and just explain something that they liked, bro. Like, it obviously did not make Jared feel good, and most people probably would have felt bad about it, but Jared decides to kind of like start talking back to him. And he says, yeah, dude, I like to play video games. I don't think that's pathetic. I think it's pathetic how funny you think you are. Just kind of gets him back a little bit, which is fair. You're allowed to defend yourself. And Kyle, when he gets insulted back, looks at Jared and goes, bro, you do not want to mess with me, dude. You do not want to mess with me. You do not, dude. Because I'm the type of kid who will roast you, bro. Like, I'm straight up the kid who will roast you. And Jared is like, yeah, I don't care. I just think you're kind of rude for calling me pathetic for no reason. And Kyle's like, I call it like it is, bro. I call it like it is. You're just kind of pathetic. It just is what it is. Just deal with it. And at this point, Jared is kind of getting annoyed, which anyone would in this situation, and he starts insulting Kyle more, being like, you're not calling it like it is. You think everybody thinks you're hilarious, and it's just not true. Like, your roasting skills just aren't that good, so you clearly can't call it like it is. And Kyle, you know, starts being, once again, don't push me, bro. You're about to push me. Once you snap me, I'm not responsible for what I say. It's gonna hurt your feelings, bro. It's gonna hurt your feelings. And everybody at the table is kind of like, all right, guys, calm down. But Kyle keeps being cocky about how, you know, you don't want to mess with me. I'll make you cry, all this stuff. And finally, Jared's like, all right, do it then. Make me cry. Make me cry, bro. If you're so good with your words, you can insult anybody, get in anybody's skin, then make me cry. And listen, like I said, if people are really cocky about something and they are incredible at it, it's not annoying. Like, if Oprah tomorrow were to be like, yeah, I'm amazing at talk shows and I know more about it than most people, I wouldn't think it was cringe because, like, hey, it's Oprah. She had the biggest talk show ever. But if you're gonna be like, dude, I'll make you cry with your insults, you better bring your A game. You can't be coming to the table with some third grade insults. Well, Kyle starts to call Jared pathetic some more, a gamer, and then he starts trying to like hit really, really close to home, trying to be a jerk. And he's like, yeah, Jared, your video game habits are probably the reason that your parents got divorced and don't love you anymore. And like starts going there, which is just way too far to be saying to somebody for like an argument this tame. Just don't say that to anyone ever. Like that's messed up to say to anybody ever, right? Way too far. But the funniest part is that like, you know, while Kyle's saying it, he has this look on his face like he's just, yeah, I'm gonna make him cry. I'm really gonna roast him here. But Jared's parents just were like, fine. Like it just, they just weren't divorced, you know? They didn't blame him for anything. So like it really meant nothing to him. And so Kyle finishes his little rant and Jared just looks at him and is like, dude, that was way too far. And my parents aren't even divorced. Like that was just uncomfortable. Like you thought that was like cool. And one of the other people at the table is like upset now. And they're like, well, my parents are. So thanks for making fun of it. Like, I'm glad you think that's just like such a funny topic. And listen, obviously, there's certain things that, like, you probably shouldn't really be running around roasting people for if you can't read the room. Yes, I'm sure there's jokes about divorce that are hilarious, but you don't really want to bust those out when you don't know people and, like, you don't know if people, like, it's just not the best, like, hey, we just met topic. Anyways, so they're kind of telling him, like, that was uncomfortable and uncalled for, and now that Kyle's getting ganged up on, quote-unquote, not really, it's just what happens when you say something really dumb. He starts doubling down and starts like lashing out at everybody at the table, just taking it way too far. Like way too far. It's not funny roast. He's just kind of saying like really insulting and demeaning things, bro. He typed it to me. I'm gonna get demonetized if I repeat him. Just know it's bad. It's bad. I won't say it. Anyways, at that point, the teacher comes over and is like, Kyle, what are you saying? Like, are you kidding me? You can't talk like that. And he starts saying that they're bullying him. They're bullying him. And they're like, no, that's not what happened. We weren't bullying Kyle at all. He started calling Jared pathetic, and then Jared stood up for himself. And Kyle, at that point, starts trying to, like, argue with the teacher, and she shuts him down and says, hey, let me get to the bottom of this, and I'll talk to you in a minute. Well, I guess that was not okay with Mr. Kyle. No. He was not going to wait for the teacher's attention because instead of just like shutting up once again, which was the right time, he decides that he's going to start roasting the teacher instead. Yeah, that's right. If roasting everybody you're sitting at the table with didn't end well, insulting the person who's going to resolve the situation really well. And he starts going in on the teacher saying that she's a moron. He can't believe that she got a degree from any school. Like the fact that she's college educated shows that America's going downhill. Just way too mean, way too intense. Like, dude, I understand roasting can be funny, trust me, but you can't just always hit people in the balls, dog. Metaphorically speaking, not literally. You guys know what I'm saying. Like, you hitting below the belt at a certain point is just not cool. If somebody hits you below the belt first, by all means, blap. But if you just come out swinging on everybody trying to resolve the situation or be your friend or just like mind their business, yeah, bro, it's not gonna end well. So when he starts going in on the teacher, she's like, no, that is not gonna happen. You are gonna go sit over there. And there were all these tables, right? Like there were groups of kids. And in one of the corners was this one desk that looked straight into the corner. And she like is like, you're gonna go sit there. And Kyle starts saying, no, I'm not. I'm not gonna sit there. Like that's demeaning. And she says, this is what's going to go down. Either you're going to go to the principal's office and the dean's office and you're going to explain why you were saying all those horrible things to me and your classmates, or you're going to sit there and you're not going to have another outburst for the rest of the year. And Kyle kind of like looks at everybody, kind of, I don't know, hoping for somebody to defend him. Nobody was going to defend him, obviously. Like someone to be like, that's unfair. Not going to happen. Because you got to remember, they just gotten new tables, but the people he was sitting with before probably were having the same issues and were like, I do not want to sit next to this dude. So finally, he slinks his head down and like, fine, and goes and sits in the corner. And it's literally a desk facing the corner. And the teacher just goes back to normal. She doesn't let him like disrupt the class or ruin the day, which was probably what he was hoping for, because that was still would have been a win. So she just went back to teaching, and there was one point in the class where like Kyle tried to have another little outburst and argue with her, and she just yelled at him and said, "Look back at the corner," and he did. After the class, though, she asked Jared and Kyle to stay back to kind of talk about what had happened. So obviously the bell rings, everyone leaves but them. Alright guys, I'm gonna interrupt the video for just 1 second. If you take a look at your screen now, you will see a gift card code. For those of you that don't know, I give away a gift card in every single video I post here on this channel as a way to say thank you to you guys for supporting me, having on those notifications, and watching all the content. So, yeah, if you haven't already subscribed, turn on noties. I literally give away free money, and if you already do, you're a G, and I'll shut up and get back to the video. Thanks. And so when she kind of starts to ask what their versions of events was, Kyle finally kind of relents and is like, yeah, okay, I was kind of coming at him a bit. I was trying to be funny. And Jared's like, yeah, and I defended myself, blah, 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 blah. And the teacher, being a teacher, instead of just like, I don't know why schools can't accept this. This is reality. Sometimes people are just not gonna get along, right? Like, if somebody always is messing with you, always insulting you, and like you guys have had beef before, the odds of just being able to throw that under the rug and be besties, slim to none. It's not gonna happen. But for some reason in schools, they're like, you've got to be friends with everyone. It's just, no. But she starts trying to be like, well, you guys need to make up and figure this out because that's what adults do. And Jared's like, yeah, I'm not going to do that. Like, I'm not going to try to be friends with this dude. I'm just not going to. He's a jerk. I'm not going to do it. And she kind of argues back and forth with them for a bit. And finally, because neither one of them really wanted to do it, she's like, fine, but I want you to know that I'm very disappointed in you, young men. This was a chance to grow and make friends with enemies. Like, the whole, blah, blah, grow. Listen, if somebody kind of is flaming me to the point where, like, they're fighting a table of people and the teacher has to come intervene, I just don't really want to be their homie, you know? Like, if someone really hates me, I just don't want to be their friend, and that's okay. I can sleep at night. Not everyone's gonna like me, and I'm not gonna like everybody. That's just the way the ball bounces, bro. But the English teacher had to do the whole, be friends. However, the one thing that was damaged was Kyle's reputation as like the coolest guy to get roasted ever, because obviously getting shut down by the kid who doesn't talk too much and then getting put in the corner literally to stare at the corner isn't something that like the best roaster who can hurt anyone's feelings really has to deal with, you know. So everybody was kind of making fun of him and repeating a lot of the insults that he had said to people like back at him all day, and that really bugged him. But moral of the story is Kyle was not the roaster that he thought he was. He thought he needed a warning label, dude, from the FDA being like, warning, this kid will roast you. Sure enough, the only thing he might be able to cook is a bag of microwave popcorn, and that's with all of his brain power. Realistically, though, guys, just, you know, obviously being mean can be funny sometimes. I'm a big fan of making fun of stuff, but just don't take it too far. It's really, really all it is. Anyways, guys, I think that's going to do it for the video. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, I would really appreciate you taking a quick second to press the like button. Let me know in the comments section down below what you thought as well. If you don't know what to comment, just go ahead and comment the word roast down there. It just helps the video do better in the algorithm, all that good stuff. While you're here, though, if you're going to be getting some G Fuel in the next little bit, you might as well use code Scrubby. Gives you a discount, helps me out. Everyone's a winner. A link to the intro song can be found down below, and if you want more of my voice, you can watch another story time or check out my podcast, The Scuffed Cast, down there. And yeah, last but certainly not least, if you take a gander at your screen now, you'll see the coolest merch to ever exist on the history of the planet, which can be yours by checking out the link in the description too. And yeah, on that note, that'll actually do it. Don't get anyone pregnant. If you do, make sure they're hot, and I'll see you guys next time. I'm out. Peace.